How you doing, folks? Joe Value here for Cold Beer Sports on Friday morning with two selections for today. Um, Two pretty, strong fancies enough, I'd say. They should be very competitive in the races that they're in. I'm obviously over here in Cheltenham, so um, the weather at the moment is fine. There's no problems with any bad weather or anything like that. So I presume the ground should stay in around the same as it is now, which is good to soft, good in places. If there's any changes, obviously I'll update as I go along. I'll do a little video later on, maybe when I'm in the betting ring, just to add a bit of atmosphere to proceedings. And should be a big crowd there today, and it's good racing. I'm definitely looking forward to it. So yeah, my two for today. Oh, just before I get on to them, nice to get the winner yesterday. Obviously, Ollie Murphy's horse, Fresh New Dawn, getting the job done. Drifted out to 7-2. I was a bit worried when I saw the way the ground was. They described it as good to soft, which would have been fine, but I think it definitely looked as if it was on the soft side, and I didn't think that was going to suit Fresh New Dawn. But he was just much the best and given a brilliant ride from the front by Fergus Gregory. You know, if he had jumped the last anyway, well, he would have won a lot easier. So he should be there for us again the next day in the same type grade. The handicapper is hardly going to put him up a whole lot for, just what was it, 3/4 of a length win or a length win or something like that. But it was one of those where he was a very dominant winner, but he didn't win by far. So we'll get him again and hopefully back on better ground. But yeah, nice. It was a beautiful Brucey bonus there, finishing up 7-2, and everyone was happy with that. And thanks very much for the nice comments. Okay, moving on to today then. And as I say, I don't have. I'm not in the office at home or anything, so I'm trying to remember these horses. But I think Floy Joy in the 320 at Worcester. Mr. Merrigan will, put all these on the description down below anyway, so you can't go wrong. But Floy Joy, I think he's around 7-2 chance there for Colm Tizard. Been ridden by young Brendan Powell. Like, they're having a fantastic time with it. Their horses weren't right last year, and I think as a consequence of that, Colm Tizard ended up with an awful lot of very well handicapped horses, and I think this lad could be one. He the same horse sickened me one day in Kempton. I was waiting on a horse called Dorkin Lad for Right Touch, and this lad came from the clouds and nailed him under a brilliant ride from John Joe O'Neill Jr. But I know the all-weather jumper for bumpers are a lot different to obviously hurdle racing and all that, but the ability to be winning a race like that, this the one today, is definitely in there. You don't win them jumper for bumpers by being a bad horse. There is some half decent horses in them type races, so I don't mind following them races as a guide. In actual fact, it's been very profitable for me doing so. So yeah, Floy Joy today, I think, is a big chance. The trip, 2.5 mile, I think it is, around Worcester, big galloping track. He's a lovely big chasing type, really. So these brush hurdles, he should be happy enough going over them. And I think he'll take all the beating there. 320 at Worcester. Floy Joy or something like that. Anyway, he's around 3-1, 7-2 chance. I put him up there as a 2-point win. And I'm also going to stick up Diesel Dallier, who's running 255 at Cheltenham. I know I done him in the Cheltenham preview. If you haven't watched the Cheltenham preview, make sure you check it out, lads. It's, there's a lot of good stuff there. And, surely we'll definitely tip up a few. We've tipped up a few winners on that. I would imagine so anyway. But I did tip up this Diesel Dallier on the Cheltenham preview, and I'm going to tip him up again today on my own show because I think he's every chance there. I think he's in around 6-1, 11-2, 6-1 chance. I think he's a cracking solid each way bet, and I put him up as a point each way at 6-1, and also I'll do the point each way, double them two lads, and they'll be my two bets for today. As I say, I'll be back on later. We'll have a bit of crack with a few personalities of the game, a few characters of the turf, and so until then, thanks very much for listening. It's Joe Value for Cold Beer Sports on YouTube. Cheers.